let's turn to some Baltimore Ravens talk as Marcus Williams joins us. He's been in the league for 7 years. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC and, of course, came up just short against the Kansas City Chiefs, but off of an incredible season for the Baltimore Ravens. Marcus, how are you?
I'm doing good.
What's it like, though, to not be playing when I'm sure all expectations were you would be playing Sunday?
It's terrible. As you know, it's terrible not being able to be in that Super Bowl, but, it is what it is. You live to see another day. I'm still breathing. I'm still good.
Defensively, I mean, they didn't score in the second half, right? They had 6 possessions, 3 3-and-outs. What were you guys able to do? Because, look, I know this is not the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill, but still a ton of weapons,
right.
And they got Pat Mahomes. What were you guys able to do to keep them down?
We just stuck to the game plan. We never blinked an eye. We just continued to fight throughout the game, and the game goes all the way down to the last seconds of the game. So we just knew we just gotta stick to the game plan, keep locking in one play at a time, and everybody just stuck together. Nobody bended, and we just continue to play throughout the game.
Marcus Williams joined us here on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. When did this? Because you guys demolished the Niners. Like demolished. But previous to that, the Niners kind of had this air of invincibility. When they were healthy, they were smacking everybody around. Then they walk into Baltimore. What'd you guys do?
I mean, everybody always talks about if they're healthy, if they're not, you know what I mean? But I think they were fairly healthy coming to our game. We had a lot of guys that were banged up throughout the year, but nobody cares if you're hurt. You got to go out there and play and perform on the game day. So I think they did what they had to do to get to the Super Bowl. So that's all that matters. We did our job during our game.
But what did you guys expose in them that other people weren't able to expose?
I don't know. I think we stuck to our game plan. We were physical. They were physical, but our defense, we come to play each and every play. So if they come, they had to see us for sure.
Football, it's just such a long life when you're a really good player. Now, obviously, your career early on started off great with the Saints, and then the Minnesota game. What's it been like to kind of evolve out of that? It's not necessarily a reputation, but you make a play in the game everybody's watching, and that becomes kind of the narrative for who you are. But you've clearly grown out of that and become a tremendous pro and a guy who's you're buttoned up on a decade in the league. How'd you do that? How do you overcome that?
That's perseverance. I mean, that's my mentality. That's the character. That's who I am. Not one play defines you. Not one mistake defines you.
But everybody says that,
and I don't care what everybody say.
Right, but how do you do that? Right,
you just go in there with a strong mentality. Since I've been growing up, my dad always just said, it's not like one thing can't hurt you. Like sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. That's just my mentality. Like they can say whatever they want, they can attack me however they want, but when that game comes on and I'm still making plays, then they're like, we still don't like you, but now we're happy that you're making plays. If I'm on your team, you're like, oh, I'm happy that you're making plays. So I just have a strong mentality. That's just what it is.
You obviously haven't been in New Orleans for as long as you were there. Then you moved to Baltimore. So what is it about the culture of Baltimore? Because they've had a bunch of defensive coordinators, and they've had, you guys have had injuries, you've changed personnel. Doesn't matter. The Ravens defense, year after year after year, regardless of who puts on the purple, it's an awesome defense. What is it about the culture of that place that allows the defense to be so good yearly?
It's everybody. It's the mentality going to that locker room. I mean, they do a great job of bringing in great guys to have that culture, and they don't allow any cancerous people to come in there. So you see what type of culture we have just by the people that they bring in, and everybody's ready to go to work each and every day. They fight. Their practices are very physical. They're fast, but we get the job done. We make sure we get something out of it. We don't just go through the motions.
Marcus Williams joining us here on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Okay, so when you're lining up against Pat Mahomes, can you confuse him? Like, what are the keys?
Yeah, you just gotta do what the game plan tells you to do. I mean, you gotta disguise. You gotta go through your progressions on defense, and that's just what it is. I'm hearing two voices. Yeah. But nah, you can confuse him, but he's definitely a smart quarterback. He can do a lot. He can scramble. He can get out of the way, and he can make great throws, and no matter where he's at.
Okay, what about Brock Purdy?
You know, Brock is still working. I mean, he knows the job's not finished yet. He's just got to go out there and perform this weekend. And, you know, he already knows he has a chip on his shoulder because everybody's doubting him. But at the end of the day, I think he's gonna go perform because he's just that player. No matter where he got drafted, it doesn't really matter. As long as you got on that field, it's the opportunity that you take and how you do with your opportunity.
But there is a difference in how you as a defense attack a guy who, like, he's more accurate, got to run around back out there. You know, a lot of things 10 to 20 yards, whereas Mahomes, it feels like, I mean, he can spray it to anywhere on the field, right? So does that change how a defense attacks them?
I mean, it's just all about the players you have. If you have players that can attack you, you know, on the line, or if you can disguise good, or if you got guys who are running sideline to sideline, if you got guys who can cover, it just depends. If they can get their running game going, and then it opens up their passing game. So, I mean, it all depends on what your defense does to stop them from one standpoint and make them do something else is how it's going to turn out for them.
It's, I'm sure, still raw, right, the loss, because it just happened like a week and a half ago. So do you watch Sunday or do you stay away from
I'm not watching.
Yeah.
Don't care. I don't care who wins. I don't want nobody to win.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to chill. I might
it's
get
kind of a cool.
You at the house.
You can literally do it in Cali?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of cold in Cali. I think it's going to warm up this weekend. But
it should.
I mean, even in Corona, where it's always warmer than everywhere else. It's hotter than the sun in the summer in Corona, where you grew up. So I know that being an Orange County guy. But I feel you, right? Like, don't even watch. But you can get so much done during the Super Bowl because everybody's watching TV. Like, you can literally drive down wherever you want to go. You can get there in less time than you ever thought, which is not usually what happens.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna be watching it. I don't care what's going on. I mean, I may go read a book or something, but I don't know. I'm gonna just be chilling at the house.
All right. Well, enjoy chilling at the house. Do a little victory lap because you had a great season with a great defense. You guys just came up one game short. Thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right. That's Marcus Williams joining us here on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio.